So it's settled. Larry the cat has a new roommate. It's Keir Starmer. In case you did not know, Larry is the most famous cat in England. With the designation of the chief mouser of 10 Downing Street, the cat has had the same address, 10 Downing Street, for 14 years now, while 5 prime ministers have left. Now a 6th one is set to enter, and this is his story. Keir Starmer, who led his party to a landslide win. After the results were out, he addressed a victory rally in London, and he had one thing to say.
Change begins now. And it feels good, I have to be honest. 4.5 years of work changing the party. This is what it is for. A changed Labour Party, ready to serve our country, ready to restore Britain to the service of working people.
Change begins now. That's his message. We'll tell you what that change will look like. But first, let's look at the man heralding this new era in UK politics. Who exactly is Keir Starmer? How did he become the Labour leader? And how did he script Labour's biggest victory in 2 decades? Starmer was born in 1962 on the outskirts of London. His mother was a nurse. His father was a toolmaker. He had 3 siblings. One of them had learning difficulties. His mother too suffered from a rare disease. And all of this impacted his early life. His family was Labour at the core, which is why he is named after the party's founding father, Keir Hardie. Starmer's upbringing was not privileged. The house he grew up in was quite cramped, money was often tight. Regardless, Keir Starmer persevered. He started at a state school, but 2 years after he joined, it became a private school. Now, Starmer could not afford the fees, but he found a way. The local council sponsored him till he was 16. After that, he went to study law, first at Leeds University and then at Oxford, which was a big deal for him. He was the first in his family to attend college. During his time there, Keir Starmer was active in student politics, but nothing major. In 1987, he finally became a lawyer, and he chose cases related to human rights. He defended trade unions. He fought for activists. His work took him to the Caribbean and Africa, where he defended death row inmates. So Keir Starmer is not a career politician. But the pivot began in 2015, when he won from a safe Labour seat, 2015. Fun fact, Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak became MPs on the same day. And 1 year after he entered Parliament, Starmer joined a rebellion. Labour lawmakers wanted to oust Jeremy Corbyn, the former Labour leader, and Starmer took part in it. That effort failed miserably, and Starmer ended up joining Corbyn's top team. He became the Labour's Brexit spokesman. That stint lasted until 2019. That's when the UK had its last general election, 2019. Labour suffered its worst defeat since 1935. So it was in full crisis mode. Jeremy Corbyn was on his way out, and Keir Starmer succeeded him. He became the leader of the Labour Party, and thus began his struggle. I say struggle because Labour leaders usually lose. This party has existed for 125 years, but it has had only 6 prime ministers. So 6 in more than a century. That's terrible statistics. The last Labour leader to win a mandate was Tony Blair in 2005, so it's been some time. But Keir Starmer had one mission. It was to make Labour popular again. He made some bold moves to achieve that. The party had a reputation of being left-wing. Starmer moved it to an electable centre ground. He purged the Corbynites. He rooted out any form of anti-Semitism. He tightened the economic policy and pitched pragmatism. He promised to put country first, party second. However, no one doubted his Labour roots. After all, he was the party's first working-class leader in decades. Of course, his critics disagree with this assessment. They say that Starmer keeps flip-flopping, that he doesn't have a clear vision for the UK. But criticism aside, what Starmer struggled with was image. He was described as button-up, even borderline boring. He did not have the charisma of his Tory counterparts. No big head of hair, no crazy antics. All Starmer is crazy about is football. But maybe that became part of his appeal. After years of flamboyant Tory rule, perhaps all that people wanted was boring. So So I guess that too worked out for him. At 61, Keir Starmer will be the UK's oldest Prime Minister in almost 50 years. We don't know what his term will look like, but we do know one thing that he'll do. On Fridays, the UK's new Prime Minister will not work beyond 6 p.m. Starmer says that is time for his family. He has a wife and 2 children.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect